In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 things that you need to consider when you turn 62 and you're thinking about taking Social Security. This is the Retirement Cheat Code. I'm JD White, and let's get into it. Today's video, we're going to cover 3 things that you need to be thinking about with Social Security once you hit the age of 62 and are considering turning on your benefits. The first one is your life expectancy. So, when we think about Social Security and whether or not to turn it on, most of us are thinking about how much we're going to get. So, the way that Social Security works is when you hit 62, you can start taking it as long as you have enough credits to qualify for it. They will give you a certain amount of money each month. That amount will increase if you don't take it. If you delay taking it up until your full retirement age, which is 66 or 67, depending on when you were born, it will grow by 6 2/3% per year. And then once you reach full retirement age until age of 70, it will grow at 8% per year. So you actually increase the amount if you delay taking your Social Security. The reason that they do this is obviously there's only so much money in the pot. If they can convince you to delay waiting, then maybe it benefits the government a little bit. But there are actually some break even points. So if you have a history in your family of not making it to, you know, say 80, if people are just dying younger in your family, it might make sense to really be looking at turning on Social Security right away. So the break even point for waiting from 62 to full retirement age is around 80 years old. So if you're going to delay Social Security until full retirement age, you want to try and live to at least 80, if that makes sense. But if it's just not in the cards for your family, then it really doesn't, then again, this is all kind of a calculated risk. If you're delaying your Social Security until you reach age 70, which is the max, there's no point in waiting any later than that. The break even point from the full retirement age to age 70 is about 82. So if people in your family are regularly living into their 90s, hundreds, then delaying Social Security might make sense, given we've got to consider a lot of other things. But if that's the one thing we're looking at, then we have to look at life expectancy. So that's going to be a really important number one for you. The second thing that I want you to be looking at is something that we call your reliance rate. So this is how much of your income that you need to live on when you retire, or when you're thinking about turning on Social Security, is coming from your portfolio of investments. So what do we mean by that? So let's use a hypothetical example and we'll use easy numbers. Let's say you want to live on $100,000 after taxes in retirement. Social Security between you and your spouse is going to be $60,000. Then you need to generate $40,000 of income from somewhere else, your portfolio of investments. And so that would be a 40% reliance rate. So 40% of your income needs to come from your investments. What we run into is when we retire people early at age 62 or even before that, is that without Social Security or a pension on, their reliance rate is 100%. And what that we use that as is a measure of risk. So when we think about needing to generate income from the stock and bonds market, that could be risk or stress on your situation. So what we try and do is reduce that. So if we're retiring early and all of our income is coming from our portfolio, one of the ways that we can reduce that down is by turning on Social Security. So that's a really important number that we look at internally with financial planning, that should be important to you if you're considering retiring early and looking at turning on Social Security at 62. The Third thing that I want you to know about Social Security is that you actually have the ability to turn it on and off. Now, you can't do it as frequently as you want, and there are some rules. If you turn on Social Security before the full retirement age, 66 or 67, if you turn it back off within 12 months and pay them back the money that you took, it's as if it never happened at all. That's one thing that's pretty cool. Number two is if you turn on Social Security before your full retirement age, once you reach full retirement age, you can actually turn it off. It will not act as if it never happened. That payment is frozen with it. They'll adjust it for inflation, but you're not going to get those 6 and 2/3% increases. But once you hit full retirement age, if you turn it back off or pause it, then it will grow again at 8% plus whatever the inflation is doing at that time. So that's kind of a neat trick if people go back to work, or let's say, we had turned it on because the portfolio was down and we needed to take some of the pressure off of that, and now the portfolio is back up. Maybe we turn off Social Security. There's a lot of circumstances there where that could be a nice rule to know about. And I have one bonus thing that I want you to be aware of. So when you are still working and 62 and thinking about turning on Social Security, it is probably not worth it. The reason being, once you are over $23,400 in income, Social Security is going to reduce that benefit that you were going to receive $1 for every $2 over that limit. So essentially, by working and making income and taking Social Security, they're going to take down that benefit very quickly. If you're still working, remember that there's a good chance that these higher income years or relatively good income years towards the end of your career are replacing those first years of income when maybe you were working a job like I did at Panera Bread, or something like that. So there's a good chance that you're actually replacing those years and bumping up your benefit a lot faster than you would have been earlier on in your life. So that's a wrap on three things that you need to know on Social Security when you're 62, plus a bonus thing for you. If you are new to the channel, click that subscribe button for me. If you're already subscribed, thank you, thank you, thank you. And click that like button if you like this one. We'll catch you on the next one.